Hello everyone, today I will show you how to make what I would call traditional Polish apple cake. But it's hard to say traditional in Poland because there's so many different types of pies, of apple pies. Some of them are spice, some of them include vanilla, custard, some of them include meringue on top. So this is what I would call traditional. And this is what I would make the most often, and this is what my mom would make most often. So let's start. Gonna need 3 cups of flour, plain flour. You don't need to sieve it or anything. Just put that in. Gonna need 1 cup of sugar, this is white custard sugar, I'm gonna also need some vanilla sugar, or you can use vanilla extract if you don't have vanilla sugar, or vanilla paste would also do. To that I'm gonna add my butter. It's 250 grams of butter, unsalted butter that I've already cubed to make my life a little bit easier. And I'm gonna use my pastry cutter to cut everything together. You could do it in a food processor if you'd like to, but I'm kind of used to do it by hand, so that's how I'm doing it. When your butter creates nice fine crumb with the flour, you can add your eggs, and we're gonna need 1 whole egg, and 3 egg yolks. So you need to separate your eggs. Egg yolks goes in. We're not going to use our egg white in this recipe, but remember, don't throw them away. You can always make meringue out of them. Now you need to use your hands to combine everything. And well, I forgot to add my baking powder, so I'm going to do it now. Kind of last minute, but better now than never. Just 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm making mess as always. Making short crust pastry with your hand is usually quite messy, and not everyone likes to do it. Sometimes you just need to get dirty. Get your hands dirty. Get yourself a little bit dirty. That's normal. Squeeze it, squish it, and it will make a ball very soon. Don't overdo it, you don't want your butter to melt completely. Try to be fast. Or try to do it in a food processor. I am actually going to dip this out to make my life a little bit easier. Just get every pieces from your tabletop. Just flatten this out. This will help it to cool a little bit faster. I'm gonna wrap it in a foil and put it in the fridge for at least half an hour, and in the meantime I'm going to prepare my apples. So here I have my 1.5 kilo of apples that I've peeled, cored and sliced. I used my grater for that purpose, that one, but you can cut it by knife. It would take long, but you can do it. You can also use your attachment on a food processor. So to my apples, I'm gonna add tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm not blind baking my base, so that's why I'm doing it, so the cake won't soak all the liquid from the apples. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of cinnamon. That's a lot, but that's how we do it. You can always add a little bit less or just skip it if you really don't like cinnamon, but I think it's really important to have it here. Now I'm just going to mix this all together. I'm actually using apples that grew in my garden, and I'm not sure what type of apples those are because they were just in when we moved in. And they are quite sweet, so I'm not adding any sugar into my apples. And again, the pastry that I'm using is sweet as well, so no sugar in the apples. But if you have really sour apples and you like really sweet cakes, then go ahead, add a little bit sugar or honey, whatever you have got on hand. Okay, my apples are mixed. Okay. Plenty of flour. A little bit on the rolling pin as well. I'm going to need a little bit more pastry for the bottom, a little bit less for the top. So just like that. Leave the top on the side and roll it. You don't need to be too precise, but just roughly about the size of your baking thing. We don't use pie tins for our apple pies in Poland. We just use rectangular, usually rectangular tin. And I'm gonna use 9 by 13 inch today. So I usually use that one. You can always bring your tin over, try if that fits or if it needs a little bit more. And I think a few more pushes and it should be done. It's just a few millimeters thick. Just roll that. Put your tin and transfer that in. You want a little bit of pastry on the sides so it will hold the apples inside. That's about right. Now we can transfer our apples in. Put that aside again. Again a little bit of flour, and I'm gonna roll the top of our pie. It doesn't have to be perfect again. I've never been too great with making perfect shapes with my pastry, so forgive me that, but the flavor is going to be perfect, I can assure you. So again, quite thinly, roll that on your pin. Unroll it on the cake. And that's how it looks. Maybe now it doesn't look perfect, but it will after baking. Let's cut out the pattern just to allow the steam to run out. And I'm going to bake it for about 40 minutes in 180 degrees centigrade. See you in 40 minutes. So this is how our cake looks like after 40 minutes in the oven. I can assure you that it tastes amazing, so go ahead and make it yourself. It's really worth of trying.